Welcome to another episode. My name is Bertrand and I'm your friend. I'm that person that's going to tell you what's actually going on out here. Now, confidence and clarity is the goal for my channel because when you get out of a relationship, the world is going to be blurry. You're not going to know what's going on. You're going to be trying to figure out, what do I do and what went wrong in that relationship. Confidence is key. Confidence is key in every form of success. So we got to talk about that. But today is a reaction video, and this one comes from Jeannie Mai because Young Jeezy filed a divorce. Now, before we get into this clip, I gotta ask you guys. Wait, first, I want to let you know that this interview came from a clip on Shane Body or Shane Bodie. Not really sure how to pronounce it, but check her out. Looks like this interview went viral. Questions. Was this business or romance? Can you blame Young Jeezy? The most important question is, what can we learn from this? All right, let's check her out.
Nobody ever called me out on it. Also, in my line of work, sometimes being a boss isn't so great for you because you have a lot of people who just agree to what you want. They're yes men, right? And so I didn't notice that I had a hot temper until I got with Jeezy, and here's a person who is my equal and I really respect. And when I would spew some of my old habits, and he was like, like who? That's not flying here. And also it would trigger him to come back at me with things where I was like, who the fuck do you think you are? But I was triggering him. So through work, we learned that we both have certain habits that to the everyday person, from friends, family, fans, they'll never see it. But to the person who loves us deep enough, you can press that button and boom, the dragon comes out. And we both have it, so we had to work on that. But he never told me to fix my temper. I just saw it and I thought, unless I want to stay in this place where I lose this person I love and I stay in my comfort zone of doing what I want to do and function the way I have for the last 40 years when nobody else had to stop me.
Which obviously has done quite well for you.
Right, I could have. But this was something greater that I wanted, and also a great challenge to myself to say, what if, now that I know it exists and the dragon's there, what if I got rid of that? How do I kill that dragon or store it in its place so that it never creates havoc in my life? And that took work. So for me, I think I don't want somebody who doesn't change. I want you to change and grow. If it means growing into...
Dragon? You mean this? A big ass lizard with wings that breathes fire? Okay, let's get right to it, people. This looks like it could have possibly been romance, but that romance wore off quickly. So quickly that Young Jeezy said, you know what? This. I ain't doing this no more. We can end this right now. And that's pretty much what he did. Now, I can't blame him. And here are 3 reasons why. Number 1, the dragon. A big ass lizard with wings that breathes fire. Now, I want you guys to understand that fire burns everything that it touches. If it can catch on fire and burn, it's going to catch on fire. It's going to catch on fire and burn. Now, we heard her talking about a hot temper. Now, I can relate to this because this is how my marriage ended, right? Like, it was a lot of like back and forth. It was a lot of like fire breathing coming from the wife, right? And again, I tell you guys here on my channel that marriage is hard. Divorce is even harder, but the bounce back is worth it if your confidence is there. Because when we're talking about this dragon and we're relating it to her and using it as something to describe her, this isn't a cute and cuddly character, right? This is like a scary monster. And if you're putting this in relationship terms, I will say this: a man can only handle so much. You will be triggered at some point in time. Now, in her first marriage, she told the man she didn't want to have kids. So when she had a kid with Young Jeezy, that man was mad. Rightfully so, I get it. But what she was really saying is she doesn't want a child with him. But when it comes to a dragon, are you willing to throw it all away? Are you even willing to risk it? I would tell you to avoid it, run away, discard, right? Because I just don't think it's worth it. But this takes me to my number 2 reason, which is it's hard being a boss. Now, this I definitely agree with because, like she said, you're surrounded by yes men. Now, what's the problem with that? This is a very masculine trait. If you put a woman in this type of position where everyone around her is saying yes, 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 and they're breaking they're breaking their backs to provide this woman with whatever she says she needs, like they have to go and do it.
What's wrong with that?
I understand the yes men because the yes men are looking to keep their job, right? They have a family or they have themselves to take care of, right? We know how difficult everything is with inflation and rents rising and, everything that's going on in the housing market. I understand that. So I get it. When you have a job and you have a good high paying job, you're going to do whatever is in your job description to do. Now, being a boss, it sucks when you're in a relationship because the woman already wants her way. But if she's a boss on top of that, now competition is at a completely different level, but a high level. Again, this means no peace. Dragon, no peace. Boss, no peace. Trust me, as you get older, you're going to value peace, fellas. You're going to value peace. Now, the number 3 thing that I learned from this is you will be triggered at some point in time. There's only so much you can take as a man. Nobody has ever stood up to this woman. And she's small, petite, cute, right? So I wouldn't even think that you would need to stand up to this type of woman. But clearly, this has to be done. When it came down to her changing, right? She still put the change on us or we opposed to her. She also talked about being equal. And I was like, wait, equal? What is she talking about? Because people change the meanings to words all the time, right? So I said, okay, equal. Okay, so if we're looking at equal, does she mean they're equal in salary? Does she mean they're equal in strength? Does she mean they're equal as humans? Like, what does she actually mean? Because she can't be talking about money because this is according to Google, and I didn't really dive that deep into their financials, but Young Jeezy is worth 10 million and she's worth 5 million, so it's literally half. What she's talking about is her right to talk shit.
It would trigger him to come back at me with things where I was like, who the fuck do you think you are?
That's what she's talking about when she's talking about her being equal. It's not her being equal, it's her having the right to talk shit. And that's not the way to keep a relationship happy. That's not the way to be happy, period, right? I get it if that's the banter and that's something that you guys are used to doing, but somebody's going to get tired of it. Somebody's going to get tired of constantly losing or constantly feeling attacked. Someone is. That's just how it goes. So this is why I tell men to reinvent yourself, because for Young Jeezy, his confidence was high enough to where he said, you know what, man, this. You can have this. You can have all of this, right? I have enough money. I have enough property. I have enough whatever I need to sustain my life, right? I have enough to sustain my life where I don't need you. You are not a necessity. You were something I wanted. Now, for women, I wonder how that hits their ego, because when a woman tells a man she don't need him, oh, it fucks our ego up. So much so to where if a woman tells me she don't need a man or she don't need me, she will not get 100% out of me. It's just not possible for me, because I know at that point in time what she's saying to me is I'm replaceable, right? And so in my mind, I don't think I'm replaceable. I think I am amazing, right? So with that being said, I tell men to adapt to dating. Don't complain, but understand a rotten apple can make you sick, right? A fire-breathing dragon can burn everything down. Are you really willing to risk, are you really willing to risk it all, lose it all, for a disagreement, a simple misunderstanding?
It would trigger him to come back at me with things where I was like, who the fuck do you think you are?
A dumb argument that went too far with somebody who's a dragon and a boss that nobody has ever stood up to. Is it worth it?
What's wrong with that?
I would tell you it's not. This is why I say enjoy the hookup culture, because within this hookup culture is full of short-term relationships, meaning these relationships don't last a lifetime the majority of the time, right? If you ask somebody how long was their longest relationship, you're never going to hear a lifetime. If you do, it is very rare, very rare. So what I mean by enjoy them is enjoy that person for as long as you have them, because within this hookup culture, women have options: friends with benefits, situationships, flings, vacation bay. And once they get tired of all of the guys and all of the jerks and all of the one night stands and all of the guys who use them as they use the man for intimacy, right? They're going to blame that man, but they're use that man for intimacy as well. You have the pretenders. You have the people who act like they really want love and they really want to be in a relationship, knowing good and damn well they don't. But it must be some type of need that we all have. Now, with this being said, I have to ask you guys, do you blame Young Jeezy for filing a divorce against Jeannie Mai? Have you been with a fire breather? Comment under this video. Remember, when you are watching these videos, you are becoming a better version of yourself. That means you 2.0. Other than that, I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.